an exciting moment. Hello Facebook, hi YouTube, how is everybody doing today? Hope you're all safe and well. Happy Wellbeing Wednesday. Yeah, I was just saying to our friends on Instagram here that back in my kitchen down in the West Country, and it's a bit of a grey day, it's kind of drizzly. Actually, I was filming yesterday. I had a film crew here. Can you believe it? Yes, actually allowed back to film from this morning, and we were outdoors doing lots of things around the farm, and I'm filming a new little series for them. And that's, I think the first one's going to go out next week. Let me just adjust this, guys, so you can see me a bit better on Instagram, hopefully. Not Instagram, you guys are okay, Facebook. Yeah, so we were filming down here yesterday, and actually the weather was fine. It was a bit cold, it was a bit blowy, because the sound guys always have issues with the sound when it gets blowy, because it just kind of sounds like a hurricane, you know, going across the mic. But that was really nice. So actually we had a better day yesterday, and we're doing some more filming tomorrow, so hopefully tomorrow it'll clear up a bit, because it's just looking a bit gloomy. Hi Lainey, so we've got Lainey on Facebook. So Lainey is our lovely in-house photographer and picture editor and does all sorts of wonderful things creatively. Nice to have you with me, Lainey. So Lainey is managing Facebook. So you guys know hopefully what the drill is. If you're on Facebook, you're the lucky ones because you get the links. So we can pop up live links. So as I talk about things, I'm going to be covering off a few recipes, a few new ideas. Then Lainey will pop the links on there so that you've got those. Obviously, if you're watching on Instagram, if you have a Facebook account or somebody in the family has, you can always head over there if you want to. We do put as many links as we can on my little link tree on Instagram, and you'll find that in my bio. So if you're brand new to Instagram, welcome to this wonderful wellbeing community of happy, lovely, inspiring, encouraging people, positive vibes only, that's the message. And if you want to link to anything, head to my bio. There's a blue line that says link tree. If you click on that, then hopefully everything will come up. But, you know, worst case, just go to my website, lizearlewellbeing.com, and you'll see there's a whole section there. It says Liz Loves. And that's because I started doing this. Do you know, it is a year ago, because I started it in lockdown, and I did every day. Do you remember, those of you who are with me on Instagram in the early days? Back then it was just Instagram. I hadn't kind of figured out how I could do Facebook as well, and YouTube. So it was just Instagram. And I did every day for 16 weeks. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what we all talked about. But anyway, managed to fill the time, didn't we? Anyway, now we've kind of got into more of a routine. It's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays for my lives. And then on Tuesday, I put a new video up on YouTube. So there was a video that went up yesterday. So I was making my menopause cake. Yeah, if you want to have a look at that, oh my goodness, it's so good. In fact, I'm cross with myself because I meant to bring some out to show you, but I always slice it and I put it in the freezer straight away, partly to stop me eating the whole thing, but also it freezes really well. And then if you slice it, and then you can just take out a slice at a time, either to defrost it and just eat it as it is, or you can pop it straight in the toaster because it's really good toasted. And actually yesterday I had a whole load because obviously I'd made some for my filming. And I had an all-male crew, so I thought this tastes so delicious. You know, I'm sure these guys are going to like it as a snack. So I took some, and before I froze it, I took some to one side, and I cut it into little, like finger-sized slices, like that, little kind of almost like flapjacky size pieces. And I served up with cups of tea, and they're saying, "Oh, this is really good. This is really good. What is it?" And I said, "Well, I'll tell you after you've had some." And then I said, well, actually, I call it my menopause cake because it's got lots of phytoestrogens in it from soy and all of that. But don't worry, you're not going to grow boobs and you're going to be completely fine. Anyway, they thought it was quite funny. And they said, oh, I might have to take this recipe home for our wives. And, oh, menopause. Oh, do you have written a book about that? And, you know, and that was the whole point of making a menopause cake. It was to start that conversation. I wasn't saying this cake is going to change your menopause. I mean, yeah, it has some phytoestrogens in it, which can help some people. You know, obviously it's not like taking HRT, which definitely is the helper, but, you know, it can play a part. So, yeah, there is some benefit, potentially. But the idea is that you can make this thing And then when people talk about it, they say, oh, what is that? Oh, that's really interesting. And you say, oh, yeah, it's the menopause cake, and it just gets that word out there. It can break the ice. If you're going back into an office situation, talking to colleagues, or you're in an environment with other girlfriends, you can take it. It's a bit of a laugh. It's a bit funny, but actually it can bring up a more serious conversation in a really easy way, even with members of your family. You can bake it for your mum or your aunt or your sister or your girlfriend, and it just raises that conversation, even within families. If mums want to talk to older children about, perhaps why they're a little bit short-tempered or they're not sleeping so well. Or anyway, you guys know all that because I talk about this all the time. What's this? Nikki says, my husband and 2 sons gobbled it up. Yeah, it's really delicious. And actually, it's so nutritious. It's really good. And in fact, if you make it, the recipe that I've put on the website, because when I'm filming, I have to make 2 or 3 different versions, because I kind of make the one that I'm filming, and then I make a test one, and then I always have one, here's one I prepared earlier kind of thing. So I'm making lots of them at the same time. And I ran out of sunflower seeds, and I ran out of soya flour. So for the filming, I made one of them with pumpkin seeds, which I have to say I think is a really good addition. They look really good in the cake. And I put in some turmeric, just to make it look a little bit more soya floury, just for the filming. And actually it made the cake a really beautiful golden yellow colour, and the golden yellow with the dark green of the pumpkin seeds, I thought, oh, this is a really good addition. I love it. I love how necessity is often the mother of invention, isn't it? You just find the most extraordinary things because you have to find a way around something. And very often I find that triggers something that's actually more interesting or different or helpful. So I'm going to rework it. I'm going to keep the original menopause cake recipe as it is, because I think it's a really good one, and I particularly like the stem ginger that's in that. But I think I might do a different one, and particularly because all the guys in the crew really enjoyed that one. I'm thinking maybe I'll do it with more turmeric, maybe with more pumpkin seeds. And actually, pumpkin seeds really helpful for prostate. So maybe I'll make a male menopause cake, and maybe have 2 versions. We can have his and hers. Oh, my mum's watching on Facebook. Hello, nice to have you. You actually made it today. She very often sends me a message afterwards. But yeah, very nice to have you. So I was just talking about menopause cake. I know I've served it to you and Daddy before now. So I apologise for my hair, by the way, if my father's watching. My father calls it my Boris Johnson hair. And I'm slightly offended by that, because I actually quite like it undone. Sometimes I will tong it, but today I just kind of washed it and left it and just did a bit of a scrunch. And I quite like it, I have to say. But anyway, I think maybe he's old school and just, likes it to be just so. But actually, yeah, he made a rude comment about my cover. If you're watching, Mummy, you can tell him. So this is my current cover of the magazine. And if you see, I've got kind of quite undone hair. And this actually, Kerry September was here for my hair and makeup, so she meant it to look like this, okay? It's meant to look like that. It's not that I've just kind of, run it under the tap and left it, which is what I did today. But yeah, she wanted that really kind of casual vibe. So yeah, so my Boris Johnson hair is in the house today. Way lovelier than BJ. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. Now, you may have seen on my Instagram that it was my youngest's birthday at the weekend, and I needed a really indulgent chocolate cake recipe. So I turned to one of my young friends called Martha Collison. I don't know if you know her, but she's a really cool young thing. And she was I think she was the youngest ever finalist in Bake Off. And she's a really cool chick. She does lots of great things for disadvantaged women. She goes and teaches bakery skills to refugees and women who've been victims of domestic violence. And that therapeutic action of baking and sharing is, she's just got that nailed. Anyway, when I recorded a podcast with her, which was a while back actually, if you want to take a listen, she very kindly gave me this lovely book called Crave. And I made this cake, which is called Death by Chocolate, and I have to say it was super indulgent. That's her version. Mine didn't quite look like that if you saw it on my stories, but it tasted really good, and that's all that matters. Anyway, one of the things that I learnt from that was how to make a ganache. Now, I'm going to do some chocolate Easter eggs, and I am not a master baker. I am not a chocolatier, or I don't specialise in this. I don't do cake decorating, as you probably saw from my efforts. But I thought it would be quite fun to try my hand at making some Easter eggs. So, you know me, I talk about the benefits of dark chocolate all the time, and I put up a new chocolate mousse recipe actually on my Instagram this morning, which is very low in sugar, very high in dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is one of our richest natural sources of polyphenols, so it's really good for the gut. So you can have a little bit of dark chocolate every day. I'm just going to adjust that again, Facebook, because you keep slipping down. I don't know quite what's going on there, but there we go. That's better. So anyway, so I invested in a few of these little silicone moulds. I popped a link actually on, well, there's a link on the Instagram link tree if you want to find these. And also there is, I think, Lainey, you can pop a link, can't you, honey, on Facebook. Anyway, these are really good. I remember back in the day trying to make Easter eggs out of those hard plastic moulds, and they would never come out. But these ones, obviously because they're silicone, you can kind of push them out. Now, I've been having a bit of an experiment on your behalf, seeing how to do this. And I'm sure there'll be loads of you amongst us who are far better than me. But I have basically just been melting some good quality chocolate. I've been using the Solcombe Dairy chocolate because we get our Liz Love 10% discount, and I love their things. So hopefully this one actually has been out of the fridge for a little while, so it's softened. Yeah, you can see it's not coming out in one go. You need to really take this straight out of the fridge because this is starting to melt already. But you can see, oh no, that's terrible. Just completely messed that up. Well, never mind, moving on. I'll show you the other one that I did. Just shows you it's not easy, is it? Okay, I'm going to leave that one for a sec. I'm going to show you these. Okay, this is easier. So these little moulds, these are other ones that I bought. So these are little mini eggs, which I quite like, with little rabbits. And I think that one's a little chick. Do you see on that? It looks like the little Twitter sign, doesn't it? I was on my Twitter earlier. That's what's reminded me. So these you can do as, oh, that's not going to come out, is it, properly? I think I need to use the dark chocolate. I think the dark chocolate is better for that. But what I've done here is I've used the milk chocolate and I've filled them. So this one, is this one going to pop out? Yes, look at that. So this is my handmade, homemade Easter egg. And I filled it because you don't really want a whole solid block of chocolate. I mean, you can have a whole solid block of chocolate, but it uses a lot of chocolate, I have to say, so it does get quite expensive if you're going to do that. But this one, I don't know whether you can see if I've taken out, you see it's got this little zigzags on it. This is a fruit and nut one. So what I did here, I was kind of making it up as I was going along, really, just experimenting. But what I did was I got my chocolate. So I've got my melted chocolate in here, actually. And this is literally just some melted dark chocolate, really good quality chocolate. So, you know, you can use the good stuff. Because I always say it's about having a little bit of the better stuff. So, you know, it ends up not costing too much because you're eating less of it because it's more filling, it's more satisfying. Nutritionally, it's better because you have more of the dark chocolate, so you get more of the minerals. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? So this is just melted dark chocolate. And then what I did for filling my little eggs, and maybe I'll just fill this one here that's left that I didn't massacre. What I mixed into it was, I mixed peanut butter. So I quite like, I always have a big debate in my family whether it's crunchy or smooth. I'm actually a crunchy person. My boys like smooth, so we have both. This is a Meridian one. They don't use any palm oil, so it's a brand that I kind of like. So let me just add in. I'm going to mix into my dark chocolate some peanut butter. And then I was thinking, actually, you could put anything in. You could mix almond butter. You could put a little bit of sea salt, for example. You could put, I don't know, cashew butter. You know, anything really, just to kind of mix it up. And of course you're increasing the nutritional value by doing that because these nut butters are incredibly high in protein. And then I thought, well, because I was looking at Martha's book and I'd made the ganache for her chocolate cake at the weekend, I thought, oh, maybe I'll make some ganache and I will fill the Easter egg with it. So anyway, let me just pop this one in here. So I've got my spoon of mixed up peanut butter with melted chocolate. What I'll do is I'll pop this back plenty big enough, because that is going to be super rich. And in fact, I do have one, bear with me, that I made earlier. Let me go and grab that from the fridge. So this is one that I made earlier on. So that is my dark chocolate. See, I think the dark chocolate probably sets better. And I filled that with peanut butter. So what I might do is just give that a little slice actually and see. Let's just see. Ooh, ooh, nice. Look at that. Wow. Doesn't that look cool? So that's filled with a mixture of dark chocolate and peanut butter, but super rich. So you could only eat a little bit. Oh yeah, that is really good. You know, and it's fresh, it's homemade, no palm oil. Fun, something that you could do with the kids maybe on the Easter holidays. So coming back to the ganache, so this was also a way of sort of extending it, and I also have been playing around by adding some raisins and pistachios and, you know, chopped up hazelnuts. So you can, you know, like make your own fruit and nut versions if you wanted. And this is some ganache here. Am I pronouncing that right? Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Ganache, like gnu. Ganache, yeah. So in here, this is Martha's recipe. So this is butter, milk chocolate and dark chocolate, little bit of golden syrup and double cream. So not much going on in the health stakes there, but there we go. Tiny bit. And I have used good quality dark chocolate. And then what she says is that you mix this all together, and then you put it in the fridge and you leave it for half an hour or so to set. And then you have to whip it up. So I'm just going to get my electric whisk and whip it up. Because what happens when you whip it, and I found this when I was doing the birthday cake at the weekend, is that it goes from a dark chocolate colour to a much paler colour. So, oh yeah, I can see that. I'll show you in just a sec, because I'll have to lift it up for my camera to see it. But yeah, if I show you the two, you can see the difference just by giving it a little whipping up. So this here, that is the dark chocolate, okay, before whipping. And then you whip it, and then it goes lighter like that. So I think what I will do, I have got a couple of larger ones here. I wonder if they will ping out. You know, they might do. But actually what I'm going to do is I might fill these. Now I've made that ganache, I'm going to fill it. I'm going to make a fruit and nut. So I've got some raisins. So I will add some raisins into my chocolate. I also have some pistachios, which I like. So I shall pop those in. And these are some chopped hazelnuts. Look at that, that's really decadent. I think we're increasingly finding out about just how many of us are sensitive to histamine and all the different symptoms that can trigger, from migraine to, you know, fibromyalgia and chronic pain, and it's being implicated in POTS syndrome, and I mean just so much. But yeah, so chocolate is one of those things that can trigger histamine because it's fermented. Anything fermented you can't have because that's high in histamine. So none of my lovely fermented foods. You can't have, you know, kefir and kombucha and kimchi and all of that because it's fermented. Right, see that? I'm going to pop those in the fridge just before they melt because this kitchen is a little bit warm. I will be right back with you. So what we've discovered for Lily is that she can have milk chocolate, or not milk chocolate, sorry, white chocolate, because white chocolate technically isn't chocolate because it doesn't have any of the cocoa beans in it. It isn't fermented. And I have got this lovely thing here. I hope Lily's not watching because this is going to be her Easter present. This is a Solcombe Dairy Easter egg. and it is made with white chocolate. So this, if you look at the ingredients of white chocolate, it's actually cocoa butter. So it's the buttery bit that's left behind when they ferment the beans. So it doesn't have any cocoa solids. So it's very high in sugars, but it's cocoa butter, raw cane sugar, whole milk, vanilla extract and vanilla seeds, and that makes that really beautiful white egg. And this comes with 2 bars of chocolate. There's a white chocolate with raspberries, which I think sounds rather nice, and also a milk chocolate orange, which she will probably give to Harry, her husband, I should think. But anyway, it just reminded me that this is where my lives all started. I think these guys were the very first Liz Loves, or at least one of the very first, because as we went into lockdown this time last year, we couldn't have access to buying Easter eggs. And I remember going online and looking for Easter eggs, and everywhere had sold out. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I think I found one on Amazon for about £35, and I thought, well, forget that. And somebody said to me, oh, you should try Salcombe Dairy. It's a really lovely family-run dairy down in Salcombe, in Cornwall, in Devon, rather. And so I got in touch, and they said, well, it's really running really late. This was like the Easter week. They said, we probably can do it, but it will be very much last minute. Anyway, bless them. I mentioned it on my live. Their phone lines went absolutely crazy, and their website, kind of had lots and lots and lots of orders, and they stayed up all night making and packing Easter eggs for us. So they've had a special place in my heart ever since then. And I've talked about them a lot because they do these beautiful bean to bars. They make bars of chocolate, and actually I used a couple of these. This is the one that I used to make one of my Easter egg moulds. It's dark chocolate with mango. That's a real favourite. So anyway, and we kept on with the Liz Loves, so we still have a 10% Liz Loves, which is great. So if you want to try any of their chocolate selections, or if you're looking for an Easter egg, so this one, as I say, is going to be for my lovely Lily, because that's the white chocolate. This one is probably going to a different member of the family, or maybe for me, actually. What do I... Yeah, it might be for me. This is the dark chocolate. And again, you get the egg, and you get both bars of chocolate. And I was really interested, when I was doing my egg mould making, that was a really interesting lesson for me, because I realised just how much chocolate you need. You do actually need quite a lot of chocolate to make a hollow egg. I was thinking, Easter eggs, they're quite pricey, aren't they? Because they're just hollow. But actually, you try it. You try spreading a decent amount of chocolate inside the mould, and you will find that you will use, to make one egg that size, for medium size, you're going to use at least a bar of chocolate. So, that's obviously without, the actual making of it and the preparation and the beautiful packaging. This is all sustainable packaging, by the way, which is also what I really love. So it's not plastic. So that's that one. And then just to say, they also sent me, I think it was lovely Lucia down in Salcombe, she sent me this, which I thought I might open in front of you just to see. It was like a bit of a surprise. And this says, made with love in Salcombe just for you. Happy Easter, Liz. Oh, I hope you don't mind me opening it now. I promise to close it up again, because I suspect it might be something edible. Oh, wow, look. That is fabulous. Look, bunnies. Easter bunnies, aren't they gorgeous? On a green straw background, or green grass background, I guess they are, aren't they? So it looks like there's a mummy and a daddy bunny and a small boy bunny. How perfect. And a milk chocolate bar and a white chocolate bar. Oh, that's so kind. You obviously had Lily in mind with that. How very lovely. And I have to say, having tried and spectacularly failed to make my own moulds, I have renewed respect for all those who can produce such beautiful things as chocolate rabbits, because that is clearly an art, and clearly that is not going to be my new job skill. But there you go. I'm very happy to support those who can do it properly. So thank you very much, guys, and I hope you get lots of lovely orders. And we've got a little bit more notice this year if you want to use your Liz Loves. We're not running right up to the wire. But I know, don't hang about though, because I do know that when I did the Mother's Day hamper, that sold out that day. So if you want to grab any of their lovely Easter eggs or rabbits or things with your discount, then don't wait, because these things do go, and they do go quite quickly. Now, talking about things going quickly, I have had lots and lots of messages come through here on my iPad, which gets linked to the team who kind of feed me things, to say that the subscription offer to the magazine is also going really quickly. And the reason for that at the moment is there is a free Olverum sleep mist, really beautiful pillow mist. It's in a beautiful big spray in a lovely bottle, and it's worth £25, and that's free with the magazine subscription. So that's why it's just like flying. So if you want to get that, you can either keep the sleep mist for yourself as a little treat, or you can give it along with the person that you're giving the magazine subscription to, or maybe you're keeping it for yourself, or whatever you want to do. All you have to do is, the details are on the Earle Wellbeing website where it says buy the magazine. You'll see the offer. As long as we have the stock, the offer will be there. So again, don't hang about. But if you want to send the magazine to somebody else, maybe as an Easter present, for example, that's fine. You can sign up and you just do it with direct debit, and then you can say, cancel it after a year. That's not a problem to do that. But if you want to have the sleep spray sent to you, you just need to put a note in the little comments box and just say, please send the gift separately, to yourself. So you can split it up. There's no problem with doing that. You just need to tell the people online that's what you want to do. Otherwise, the gift gets sent to whoever is receiving the magazine. And the gift doesn't go with the magazine, just to make that point. The magazine goes out straight away. And then as soon as they process the direct debit, which I think takes a week or two at the banks, then the gift is sent. Okay, so don't expect it straight away. But Warner's are the subscription service, and they are great. I have to say, all through lockdown, they've been really, really good. Their numbers on the website, any issues, any subscription queries, they are the ones, because they've got all the database there. They know exactly who everybody is. They can track packages. They can find out, subscription renewal dates, all of that kind of thing. So really big thank you to Warner's. I don't know if you know, but we changed our subscription people about 18 months ago, because we were with a company before that who were absolutely dreadful, and I fired them because they were awful and the customer service was shocking. And I just thought, I can't have this. I'm not having my lovely customers being let down with such terrible service. So we really drilled down to find the good ones, and Warner's really impressed us, and we emphasised with them. We said, listen, really, we do want first-class service, so hopefully that's what you will find with them. Other questions that I'm getting here. Lots of people asking me about collagen. So collagen supplements are just all the rage, aren't they? They're everywhere. And there seem to be two different kinds. There's the bovine collagen from cows, which is the traditional kind, like gelatin. And then there is the marine collagen from algae or from fish skins, krill, that kind of thing. And there are two camps, really. That's how it kind of divides. And a couple of things you need to be aware of with collagen supplements. One is what they call the Dalton weight of the supplement. So collagen particles are measured in Daltons. Now, I'm not a scientist, but apparently a Dalton is a very, very tiny thing, and you want it to be as small as possible. So you want to look for the lowest Dalton weight. And I think the marine collagen tends to be lower. But it's also really important to have a delivery system that doesn't get broken down in the large intestine and in the stomach, because all the stomach acids, I've talked about this before, all the acid that swirls around there just breaks down so much stuff, and it breaks it down into its component parts, into the different amino acids, and then it doesn't really find its way down into the small intestine where you need it. That's where we need to get, if we're going to really use collagen properly and get it into the skin and all of that, it needs to get all the way down through the system. Anyway, I have started researching a new company, well, new to me, one of their professors who's on their board, talking about the testing. So we had a Zoom chat a few days ago. So I always like to go direct to source. And I asked him lots of questions, hopefully quite tricky questions that he was able to answer. Actually, it was really good. So Ingenious Beauty, this is the supplement, and it's called Ultimate Collagen. We do have a Liz Loves on it, so you can get a discount on it. And they're making some pretty bold claims. They're saying reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. It also has not only marine collagen peptides, but hyaluronic acid, which is great for the skin, which I love. And astaxanthin, which is another really interesting supplement. Astaxanthin, remember that word. I will come back to it. I'm not going to go into it now, but it's fascinating. So you get all three of those things in these capsules. The astaxanthin actually makes it slightly pinky because it's a reddish colour in nature. And they have created a way of specially coating the capsule so it gets into the small intestine, and that's the different bit. That's the delivery method that's different. So anyway, I just say that now. I am going to do more on this, but I know lots of you have been asking me. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to get back to you and reply to that. And I wanted to wait until we could see if we could offer a discount on it, because it is quite pricey. But Ingenious Beauty, they've given us 15% off on their website if you use Liz Loves, which is very nice and welcome. So thank you very much, guys. Lainey, I think you're doing a little link to that. Would it be something to recommend to ease psoriasis on the scalp? Okay, so that was a question there on Facebook. What I would recommend for psoriasis is make sure that you're using a sulfate-free shampoo, so no sodium laureth or lauryl sulfates, because they can really irritate sensitive scalps. I also have an e-guide on Amazon, and it's called, I think the title is Dry Skin and Eczema. But there is a whole section on psoriasis, because a lot of these scaly, dry, inflammatory skin conditions are related. So it covers eczema, very dry skin, psoriasis, and rosacea. And there's lots and lots of good information. So I don't know, Lainey, maybe you could find a link to that. It's hidden somewhere on Amazon. I think it's only $1.99, and I wrote it a few years ago. So it's relatively current, I would say, and has a lot of good information. Okay, so yes, the books are still around. So I've got the books. We have an offer at the moment on books, you may have seen. So I've got my lovely yearbook 2, and then we also have just a few of these. We don't have many, they just seem to fly out of the door as soon as we get them. They disappear. But we do have a few, which is the Good Gut Guide. Lots of you wanting to start a 6-week program on gut health, so that is a really good one if you want to do that. And then, of course, the Good Menopause Guide with menopause cake and so much more in it. So I have these here at the farm, so I'm signing them. So if you're thinking about Easter presents or a present for yourself, and all of those come with a free notebook selection. So these are the 3 little notebooks that we have. We sell these separately. If you want just the notebooks, you can get them. They're £7.50 just for the set of 3. Positive vibes only, says that one. This one is And Breathe. Just breathe. And this one is Live, Love, Laugh. What a good mantra for the day. This yearbook 2 sadly sold out, so I'm very sorry to say, but you can get it on Readly. So if you'd like to subscribe to the Readly app, you can also get my magazine on Readly. So wherever you are in the world, I know lots of you are watching from overseas, either live or on catch-up. We can send the magazine, by the way. If you actually want the real printed magazine, we can send it, but you just have to pay a bit extra in postage, and that can be quite expensive because these things, unfortunately, international postage is costly. We just charge the cost for it. We don't obviously make any money on the postage. But if you can't wait to get it sent to you, if you're overseas, or even if you're just in the UK, you can read it on Readly. So Readly, readly.com. I think we've got a link that gives you a free month, I think. Fingers crossed. Maybe you can pop that up there, Lainey. You'll probably find it on the Earle Wellbeing website anyway, if you're interested. But what I like about Readly is it's not just my magazine. It's like every magazine virtually in the whole world. All sorts. Everything from, Cat Lovers Monthly to, knitting patterns to golf to Good Housekeeping to Hello Magazine to, interiors, anything. And once you pay your subscription, which is $7.99 a month, then you just can read anything you like. And they have back issues. So for us, I think we've got the last 10 issues of Earle Wellbeing on Readly. And we've got Yearbook 1. That's what reminded me to talk about it. So if you haven't got Yearbook 1, I am so sorry. It has gone. You might be able to find copies on eBay or whatever, I don't know. But it is on Readly. So you will be able to look at the digital edition. Warner's is great. Oh my goodness, I had difficulty getting my magazine here in Kentucky. And the woman I spoke to was so courteous and helpful. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. How is life in Kentucky? I hope that you are all doing well over there. You must be first thing in the morning, isn't it, in Kentucky? So lovely to think of my magazine winging its way around the world. I know a lot of you are watching and have it sent to Australia. I've got friends in South Africa and Kenya and Italy, and I know it gets sent around the world. So if you have got it overseas, I would love to see. So do take a picture somewhere that shows where in the world you are, and just tag me, particularly on Instagram, because it's just so easy for me to share that. Then if you tag me at LizzelleMe, then I can share it on my stories. It'd be lovely. I mean, one day I think I'd like to have a big map, world map, perhaps in my study or in my office in London, in my studios, and I could put little flags on all the different places where my magazine has been cited. I think somebody did actually take it close to the North Pole. She was on an expedition, and I don't know if she quite made it to the actual pole itself, but it certainly got pretty close. So that was really, really quite fun. I'd love to see a whole world map full of flags. Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, so Readly. And actually, anybody who is overseas, and it's just. I mean, I obviously have the print magazine and I have my books, but I do like having it on my iPad and my phone, because if I'm just sitting and want to check something quickly, I don't necessarily want to go and rifle through all my magazines and flick through them just to be able to quickly access a recipe if I'm out shopping and I'm thinking, what were those ingredients again? Anyway, so those are the books which I have at the moment. So just a couple of very last quick questions. SPFs, yeah, I am going to be talking about SPFs separately, and the whole sun thing, because that's a really interesting. This is, oh great, this is from Linda. This was actually an email, so this must have come through to my studios team. It says, may I say a big thank you for all the excellent advice you share on health and beauty. I'm an avid fan, enjoying all your broadcasts. Thank you very much, Linda. I don't know which platform you're watching on, but you're very welcome. I enjoy your broadcast videos and your fabulous magazine, which I first subscribed to last year. Wish I had done it earlier. Well, thank you very much. I hope you continue to enjoy it. This is from Liz on Instagram. Says, I've recently joined Beauty Pie using your code and I love it. My partner even took a bit of an interest in the whole concept. When my latest parcel arrived, he agreed it's a complete no-brainer. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, it's so cheap and the quality is so good. It is absolutely, you're so right, Liz, it's a no-brainer. We'll be interested in hearing more about retinol too. I'm a bit scared of using it. Yeah, I was a bit nervous about retinol as well, because I think you hear a lot of scare stories about it. And I think retinol, it comes in so many different guises. There are lots of different strengths. It's a bit like HRT. There's no one size fits all for retinol. You can get prescription grade, you can get doctor grade, you can get over the counter, you can get high street, super drug grade retinol that you can just anybody can just pick up off the shelf. So there are lots of different kinds, and I think getting a retinol from a really reputable beauty brand. I mean, I use Beauty Pie retinol. I use something called super retinol. I use that. And I think it is just one of those things that can just gradually help with plumper, younger, fresher looking skin as we age. It's a natural vitamin A derivative, so it's naturally derived, which is kind of something that I like. And it doesn't trigger my eczema, it doesn't trigger my sensitive skin. So yeah, I think the great thing about Beauty Pie, of course, it's such good value that it's not going to break the bank to try it. So if you don't get on with it for whatever reason, then you can just use it as a hand cream, or just use it on your arms or elbows, or wherever you want to use it. If you find that you don't like it on your face, So Beauty Pie, again, if you use Liz Loves, those of you that haven't joined, all one word, all in capitals, that gets you your free month's membership. And it's just great. I really, honestly, I can't fault it. I've loved everything from there. A couple of colours I've bought from them, which I thought, not really sure about that, so I've given them to my girls. But to be honest, the cost is so low. I've had fragrances from them. I've had their scented candles. I mean, it's just great. And I've known Marcia for a long time, the founder, beauty founder. So it's another strong female founder-led brand, which is another plus for me. Oh, this was quite fun. This was from Sue on YouTube. I don't know if you're watching, Sue. You've said, you were talking about my menopause cake. You said, you could open a menopause cafe and we could all come and chat and eat menopause cake. Wouldn't that be fun? I'd love to do events. I'd love to do real life events. You know, I'm just really hoping that we'll all be back out there and, you know, being the sociable human beings that we are, where we're allowed to be and be sociable and see each other in real life. Esther, again, talking about the menopause book on YouTube, talking about the cake. Oh, I've made this from your book. Absolutely gorgeous. Everyone must try. Big hug. Thank you for all your help. Thank you very much, Esther. Thank you. I do pick up all the messages. So on YouTube, you can leave a comment on YouTube, those of you that haven't seen it. And my team and I do go in and we chat and message on that. You know, it's yet another platform, as if there wasn't enough to do. Nikki, again on YouTube, another fascinating chat. Thank you. It seems we're all learning something new each week, and I'm extremely grateful for all the hard work that you do. Super welcome. You know, it's all about sharing the good stuff, isn't it, really? And I think that's all I've ever tried to do in my work, is share good things on every level: beauty, health, well-being, food, you name it. And I'm so grateful to have the community here that, you know, we can all talk to each other, we can exchange ideas. Thank you for all your comments. Often you will comment and you'll recommend something and I'll go and look it up, or you'll send me a link to a piece of information. And it's really lovely to get that. And, you know, I've discovered lots of new things that I've investigated. I think somebody sent me the details of the Huskappa, the amazing berries with Dr. Evie. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. I'll go and take a look at that. And of course, then we ended up doing a live with Dr. Evie, and then we have the Liz Loves on her things as well. So it's just lovely. I love that kind of two-way thing. So thank you for all your messages. Lovely to see. Skin Aid is good, mentioned in the first book. Yeah. Okay, Denise, could you mention the most important supplements when going vegetarian? Oh gosh, yes. Well, you need all your fat-soluble vitamins, so it depends. I mean, if you're vegetarian and not vegan, then obviously you're going to be better protected nutritionally, because you're going to have your dairy produce, for example, so you're going to get a lot of iodine and choline, and, you know, you might eat eggs, for example, which I'm a big fan of, which will give you your choline, and your absorbable iron, and your calcium and vitamin D, because vitamin D is an animal-based nutrient, which we know is so important to get. And of course your omega-3s, your fish oils. So I think we have got pieces online about it. If you want to have a look at LizEarleWellbeing.com, we have written quite a lot about it. And one of my senior writers actually is vegan, so she does, you know, have a particular interest in that, so we do cover that, and we're really keen on making sure that everyone's really aware of what they need, and making sure that you need your fish oils from algae, because the flaxseed doesn't convert, so you need your DHA. So if you are a vegan or veggie, make sure that you've got your DHA that's coming from an algae source as a supplement. You know, unfortunately, it does very often mean that you're going to have a lot of food supplements in order to get your levels up of different things, but also B12. Super important, your B12. There's, again, lots online about it, so, you know, do take a look, and I hope that's really helpful. Yeah, collagen. Lots of comments here saying about how much collagen has genuinely improved skin. So, you know, I think that my skin, I don't really have an issue with my skin. You know, I'm using the LED mask, I'm using, you know, retinols and all of that. I'm very comfortable with it, actually, more than comfortable. So I'm not looking for any dramatic improvement in my skin necessarily, but my nails are really dry and flaky and brittle, and I think it's all the endless hand washing and hand sanitizing. And my hair is also quite dry, and I just think that having the extra collagen for that will be the biggest sign of difference. So that's how I'm going to monitor what the ingenious collagen is going to do for me. So I look forward to talking a bit more about that. And if you've been using it or any other kind, please let me know, because I am in the process of reviewing and researching collagen, because it is a big topic, and I think it's something that hopefully will help more and more of us. Anyway, that's it for today. Really nice to see you. I'm going to go off and maybe try a few more of my Easter eggs with all this melted chocolate I've got left over. Let me know if you have a go. You can always tag me. I don't do direct message on Instagram, but I do very much try and respond to all my comments. It might take me a day or two depending on what's going on, but I do try and get round there. Same with Facebook, same with YouTube. So stay tuned. There's a new YouTube video going live tomorrow, so make sure that you're subscribed to the Earle Wellbeing YouTube channel. If you haven't yet signed up for the newsletter, you've got time. It goes out on Friday afternoon. So make sure that you're on the list to get that. Amy and I are putting that together right now for this week. Also, there's a brand new episode of the Earle Wellbeing show that goes live today. It's a lovely listen. If you've got an hour, sit and listen to that. It's with Mo Gaudat, and he talks about happiness. And it's really good. He's a very, very interesting man. He was the chief business officer for Google over in LA. I mean, so serious, huge, big cheese in the tech world. And he had everything in his early 30s. Money, fame, fortune, amazing lifestyle, beautiful family. And he wasn't happy. And he wanted to find out how he could be happy. And then, tragically, he had an awful incident where his son died. I think it was his eldest son, who was very, very close to, died in a really simple routine operation, having his appendix out, and the surgeon made a mistake and he ended up dying. I think he was 20. No, he can't have been 20, he must have been younger than that. Anyway, I remember it from talking about it on the podcast. Maybe he was late teens. And anyway, Mo talks about how he got over his grief and learnt to be happy. And it's a very, very good listen. If you fancy making a cup of tea or a turmeric chai latte or whatever and sitting and having a listen, it's very uplifting. And it's just a nice one to listen to, I think, in these times of trickiness. And then on Friday, of course, I've got my Friday 5 podcast. That's my shorter podcast. That's only about 25 minutes or so. So I'm just putting the finishing touches to that. So busy day, being Wellbeing Wednesday, lots going on. But nice to see you, and I'll be back here live on Friday. So stay tuned, stay well, stay happy. Thank you. Thanks for all those lovely comments. Nice to see everybody. See you again very soon. Bye. Bye.